What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Valentina. If this is the first time here in my channel, today we're going to be talking about the new foundation, well, fairly new, few months new, by Makeup Revolution. It's the foundation, the stick foundation, and we're also going to be talking about the concealer. So if you want to see my thoughts on this foundation, just keep on watching. Alright, so let's talk about the foundation. The foundation retails for $9, which I think is super affordable. Well, Makeup Revolution in general is a very affordable brand. I think they do have certain things that I love. And I'm happy that it's only $9. I noticed that they have 18 shades. Right now, I'm a little bit hesitant to even talk about shade range. I know it's like a huge wave, or it's a kind of a trendy thing to talk about how brands are not being inclusive. Obviously, I think every brand should be inclusive. I also think it's very challenging for them to really tackle every skin tone that there is, because honestly, we have so much out here. But I do think that they should do a better job including way more products that are for all skin tones. All right, so this foundation just says that it was created to kind of simplified the application of foundation. It's supposed to like be super fast, and it says that it quickly perfects, contours, and highlights your complexion. Oh yeah, of course I'm gonna be sharing with, because I'm switching from Spanish to English. Sorry if I'm like sounding a little funny. I'm obviously gonna show you guys how I apply it, and while I apply it, I'm gonna show you guys, or kind of give you my thoughts on the foundation and what I think of the texture and all of that. It says that to use, you just have to twist it up, swipe on your skin, blend it with your fingers, beauty sponge, or favorite foundation brush. Pretty standard. That's all it says. It doesn't tell me how long it's supposed to stay on the face and the finish, which is kind of interesting. So let's go and apply it. One thing that I did do at the end of the application, I said, oh, I'll be right back with my makeup on. Well, this is my makeup. I didn't realize that I was gonna record the intro and everything else after the application. Anyways, that's like me being a rookie. But anyways, let's just get to the application. Oh, before we go, let me talk about the concealer. So the only reason why I bought this concealer is because it's supposed to be a dupe for Shape Tape Tarte, which I do love Shape Tape. I only recommend Shape Tape for people that do love to wear makeup. I don't think it's a very good concealer for people that don't wear a lot of makeup, or you know, kind of like to use light makeup from day to day. I think it's a little heavier for those type of people, but that's just my personal preference. I only use it when I do a full-on glam look or a full-on face. It comes in 18 shades as well. And this one just says that it's designed for long-lasting coverage. It's supposed to conceal and define your look with an ultra blendable formulation. Again, it doesn't say, well, it does say that it has full coverage, but I'm still confused on at least the foundation. I don't know why they didn't mention the finish. But anyways, those are kind of like the little information that I have, the background. This one retails for $7. And I forgot to mention to you guys what, I think I did mention that I bought F10, which is my shade. And then for concealer, I bought C10. These are the two that I bought. Okay, now we are gonna go and apply it on. All right, so I'm going to begin applying this primer. You guys know this is an OG from Benefit. This is the Professional. I don't use primers. I'm not a huge fan. I know that's kind of weird. I only use primers when I'm going to be using the foundation for a long time, or if I need it to last a long time. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. So today I'm gonna be giving this foundation a better chance by applying this one under. I love to apply this right in the T-zone, especially here where I have large pores. Okay, so to begin applying, I ended up choosing F10 like I mentioned in the intro. I hope I got the right color, just because sometimes when you do swatch things on your skin, I usually swatch them here on my jawline to be able to match with my neck. You know, sometimes it can be weird at the store because they have weird lighting. This store didn't really have weird lighting, but I'm just hoping I picked the right color. Let's see. Ooh, almost dropped it. And I'm applying a generous amount because I love high coverage. I love when my skin looks flawless. All right, so that blended actually beautifully. I don't know about the color. I'm trying to figure it out. I can't see my viewfinder very well, but that actually blended out really well. I do notice that it is a velvet finish and it has kind of medium to full. I wouldn't say it's full, I say it's more medium because I do see some parts of my skin peeking through. I do like the fact that it blended out so well, but I do feel it a little hydrated on my skin, so I think it's a better option for people that have more on the drier skin than more of the oily. Just because I wouldn't think that for someone that has oily skin, this type of foundation will actually work, because I do feel like it's not really sinking in. I'm gonna wait a little bit obviously, but I do feel that it's hydrating and it still feels moisturizing on the skin. So we'll see. Maybe if you do set it with powder, you'll be able to work with it if you don't have extremely oily skin. But definitely for dry skin, I think is a good option so far. So while I wait for it to sink in, I'm gonna be applying the concealer and Define. This is supposed to be a dupe for Tarte's Shape Tape. You guys know that that one's super famous. I wouldn't say Shape Tape is my favorite, just because I do think that it's more for like full-on makeup for people that like to wear a lot of makeup. But I don't think it's an everyday concealer for, you know, you can't recommend it for someone that doesn't wear a lot of makeup, just because it is very thick and it does cover, but it, you know, you have to be able to blend it out and make it look natural, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna be applying this one while I wait for this foundation to kind of sink in. I'm gonna keep it a little bit on the lower side just so I can blend it out, because I feel like when I tend to apply it right on that area, it tends to crease. This is not the first time this is the first time I use this, but I do notice that with this type of consistency of concealers that I just noticed, like kind of creamy thick like this, that tends to happen. So I'm gonna put it on this side. All right, so that blended beautifully. I actually pulled my Shape Tape to kind of do a side-by-side comparison. I might even do a video dedicated just to this too, just because I think it's interesting that they think it's a dupe. I wouldn't say it's a dupe, to be honest with you guys. I think Shape Tape is a little thicker in consistency and it has a little bit more coverage. This is the one up here is Shape Tape. And this is their Makeup Revolution one. I do find, especially when I blend them out, I'm gonna show you guys right now. I do find, so I blended this one out. This is the Shape Tape. This doesn't lose any of the coverage. I think that once you blend out the Makeup Revolution one, it does tend to lose a little bit of the coverage. So I do think in formula, they're very similar. But in terms of coverage, I think Shape Tape does a little bit better, just a tiny teensy bit. So I'm going to finish my makeup. I'm gonna come back and then we can talk about what I think. I might just do a check-in. I have to record a couple of other videos. I might just do a check-in after I'm done recording all my videos and see how my makeup stayed. If I like it, I'll give you guys kind of my final thoughts. All right, so you guys have seen this makeup already. This is what the makeup I did for the intro. Let's talk about the products. Obviously, this is a finished look after I set it with with translucent powder. I have to say, I did mention that I might do a check-in. I don't know yet if I'm gonna do it, but I do have to say, the foundation, I mentioned it when I was applying it, it's very hydrating, it's borderline a little greasy. So I don't know if I'm a huge fan of the texture. I don't think it's suitable for people that has oily skin. I personally have like combination skin, normal or dry skin, so it works okay on my skin. But one thing that I noticed, if you don't set it, it definitely starts to crease. So you definitely want to set this foundation as soon as you apply it with some translucent powder. I don't really care for it. I do see that it's kind of settling in some of my lines here in my forehead. I'm not like a huge fan, I have to be honest with you guys. I don't want to bash it completely because I don't think it looks terrible, but it's not the type of foundation that I like to use. I actually like foundations that do tend to set on your skin a little bit, and this one, it kind of moves around. It just doesn't really set at all. I don't know, it doesn't really mention if it's a hydrating. Again, it doesn't mention what kind of finish it has. I personally think it has a velvet finish, but it does stay pretty much how you apply it, you know, kind of like that really slippery consistency. So not a huge fan of the formulation. I do like the coverage. It's medium to full. It definitely allows you to build up a little bit, so I like that. And for the concealer, I did show you guys while I was applying it the difference between that one and the Shape Tape. I don't quite think they're dupes. I think the Shape Tape is a little bit more dense and it does cover a little bit more than this one. I have to be honest, I'm sorry. For the price though, I think it's a good concealer for, what is it, $7 that it retails for. I think you can do well with it. Just make sure that obviously you diffuse it and then set it right away, because it does tend to do the same thing as the foundation. It just kind of sits there and it doesn't really set. So you want to make sure that you set it. But that's pretty much what I think of it. I don't know about in terms of like how long it will last on your skin. Again, they don't mention that on the little thing on the website. What do you guys think of how my skin looks? I think the color was a good match. So I was gonna do a check-in, but you know what, I think I'm gonna leave it and put it on my Instagram maybe in a few days if I continue to use this foundation. Final verdict, I can't say that word. I definitely recommend this concealer, even though it does kind of wear off a little bit after you blend it. I still think it's a good deal for $7. You can't beat that, and it does give you good coverage. So I think this is a good recommendation. This foundation, if you have extremely dry skin, it might work for you. If you have oily skin, I don't think this is a good option. I personally don't really like it. Don't think I'm going to be recommending it. I'm going to keep on testing it a little bit and, you know, trying it out. Maybe it's going to be good for the winter, since I tend to be way drier in the winter. But as in now, I don't really care for it. And even though it's what, $9, I still think that there is some foundations out there that are, you know, good, a little bit better than this. So I'll see you guys on my next video. I hope that I include everything that I needed on this review. Let me know down below if I missed anything. I don't think I noticed any oxidation on this foundation. I think that's the only thing I didn't mention. Just let me know down below if you have any other questions. I hope I covered everything. Let me just thank you for being here, for watching another one of my videos, for subscribing. I'm hoping you're subscribed. I'll see you guys on my next video. Big kisses. Ciao.